Okay, everybody, this is my spoiler review of the first two episodes of Dark Matter, the new Apple TV Plus series based off the popular book that I have not read. So please keep book spoilers for anything that we haven't seen yet out of the comments for now. But I'm going to be doing a more shorter kind of preview of what I'm going to be doing with the regular episodes, where I'll be doing deep dives like I usually do for the next coming episodes. But for here, I just want to touch base on the general surface of my thoughts for the first two episodes. So I love Jennifer Connelly. I really like Joel Edgerton. And I really like Alice Braga and Jimmy Simpson. So that really was something that was bringing me in. And the trailer made me intrigued for what was to come. Now, this is a show where it has a problem that it's not the show's fault, because this book came out before a lot of these stories, but in media everywhere we're seeing so many stories like this with the different realities and different dimensions and different versions of oneself. So you're not getting that fresh feeling to it. Like, you might get a little turned off, like I kind of did when I started realizing what was going on and seeing, like, okay, here we go again, another version, another time, another reality, what would happen. But that isn't the show's fault. That's part of what this story is. That's what the book was. So I get it. That's just a happenstance of the times. But I really thought the first episode, took a little time to get going. And then I started getting really intrigued, of course, when this masked man shows up. And I like that they had revealed later on, and pretty quickly, they didn't drag it out, because you can kind of put together with a lot of hints they have here that it is Jason himself that is basically torturing himself here and flipping lives with him, or realities with him, and that this Jason is like this mad genius that you already get bad vibes from. And what I thought the first two episodes did really well was have Jason of the Jason that we started with, that we know is more of a confused Jason, because he's like, the audience is thrown into a different reality, has no idea what's going on, why people don't recognize him. And then you start meeting the original Jason that is very cynical, and as the show goes on, it starts revealing, you start liking that Jason less and less, and liking the Jason that you started with more and more. It's like, wow, the confused Jason, then the smart Jason, who's the one who won the award, right? He's the one we start not liking. So putting that together is kind of subconsciously setting you up for the big reveal at the end. That this cliffhanger happens in episode 2, where Jason's wife in the other dimension of Daniela, played by Jennifer Connelly, gets murdered. So knowing this, you have to, right? I'm guessing that was by the other Jason. That the other Jason doesn't even care for how he's traumatizing himself. It's a cool concept, though, which I like, which makes it more unique, is that it is seeing somebody who's playing God, but he's actually hurting versions of himself. It's not like he's protecting the other versions of himself. He's almost looking at them as lab rats. So that was a really cool twist to me, seeing that tragic end there. And it was set up nicely, having that nice moment between the bond you see this Jason having with Daniela of a different reality. And I thought that was the scenes that shined the most, when it was with Jason, with Daniela, and seeing Jennifer Connelly and Joel Edgerton do their thing together was great. Like, that is what shines about Apple TVs. They get these big names, and they usually have respectable writing. And I think that obviously continues here. And I think that it shows you what the show's going to be about. You start seeing who the villain is here in original Jason, right? That he's the one I thought was fascinating, that would say things like he guided the son to a different approach, a more shady approach to get the girl, than the Jason we started with that was more genuine. You see the Jason that we started with, that he was about wanting to be with his wife, and like he said, not die in a cold lab. But we're seeing the Jason who was the opposite effect, and now he's playing around with different scenarios of life and seeing how they would go. I also thought it was a nice touch that the Jason we began with, the more likable Jason, put that little rubber band on his finger to remind himself of his original life with Daniela and what he was about. And I thought that was really cool too. And it's a cool concept to think about choices we make in life and how they change your complete future here, and then going back and seeing what would happen if you did a different choice. And that I like, they clearly defined that moment where the split happened, where it was that choice of staying with Daniela and the baby, or going the career route. And that original Jason is exploring these different routes, and that he was pretty cruel to Daniela about the baby in the past. So you see that you like this original guy you're with, and then the Jason that was before him, the actual Jason, was not that friendly and not that caring of others. And it's cool, you see the life that Jason left behind, where even his friend was disheveled. He left people behind, and he had all the glory, he had the awards, he was this famous scientist. So I thought that was interesting, and that it was cool. We got to see the big cube too, and they didn't let that sit either. They got to that pretty quickly. Now, it felt like you got that story set here, but I have no idea where this is going to go from this moment on. So I hope it stays intriguing and there's a mystery that stays here and it doesn't get stuck in like sap too much, or maybe like, Jason is just trying to find a way to find Daniela and protect her in all these realities, and it becomes lovey-dovey. That's fine and all, but I do want to still hope there's a lot of mystery that's still left to come here, and that we haven't got the whole premise already and we're just going to see it play out. So I hope that week to week is going to be really interesting and get people intrigued, like myself, like a Severance will. I don't know the original story, so I have no idea. So again, please don't spoil the books down below. But I gave the first episode an 8.2 and the second episode an 8.4, so it's hovering in that good range. But for it to be great, I still want to see something that's going to get me a little more intrigued here and excited and feel like on the edge of my seat a little more for a kind of mystery like this. But I'm really excited. I think there's a lot of high upside to this show, and I'm excited to review it week to week. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the first two episodes, any theories you got if you haven't read the books. And if you've read the books, what do you like? What do you not like? Maybe they did in these first two episodes compare the books. And please make sure to subscribe to them. It's one of my reviews of Dark Matter. I also do celebrity interviews, and I also do an X-Men channel covering X-Men 97 right now. And I'll see you next time.